Is it okay if I turn this into a little bit of like an interview? Because I think there's some questions that people here are curious to know. No, nothing. There's no trap questions, no anything. Just
Or
are you comfortable answering a few questions?
yeah, hit me with the journalism.
Yeah, I guess just first, I mean, I think everyone here can admit that we all love Fried by Fluoride, the musician. Um, we we've grown up over the years with the music, but over the last, I guess, really since the start of 2025, over the last 7 months, the input, or I'm sorry, the output has diminished significantly. Like there really hasn't been much on the music front. Um, is there? What is your relationship with the music now? What is your thoughts on uh, do you have any plans for releases in the future? What how do you think about the future of Fried by Florida, I guess, is my first question.
Uh, I don't think there is much more. Like, I have way more than enough money than I need, and it's not it's not exactly easy to do at this point because I have like 90 songs maybe or something.
Right, right.
Yeah, like, bad time.
So would you say that you feel like you've kind of hit a wall almost? Like it's not like you've written so many songs that you don't really have many, like you've kind of almost you've expressed all the artistic sonic ideas that you have inside of you?
Um, kind of yeah. I think there's like a sensitivity to it you need to make the music,
Mm.
and you have way more of that when you've never touched it. You're like it's like your first time drinking, or watching porn or whatever. It's like um, you're way more inspired by it, so you can do do more stuff with it, and it will seem like a good idea.
So so
That's probably the gist of
so
it.
the bar is higher now. Like the bar to feel some sort of emotion when you're creating something, it's the bar is significantly higher than when you started.
Yeah, I think that's like a lot of it's exposure, and then another half of it might be like life is just uninspiring. Like, oh, we sat and did nothing for 5 years. It's not like things are getting more interesting.
Right, right. Well, I'm sure that's going to be, we've got, I don't know how many people are in this call. I would say, based on the eye test, a good 40, maybe 40 to 50. Uh, So that's obviously going to be, that's a crushing real. We've got some people that are doing the cry reaction right now because your music does mean a lot to people. you know, so I guess, I mean, are you, are you, I want to phrase this correctly. If you had to guess, gut call, gut check. I'm not saying soon. I'm not saying we're going to get this in the next, 6 months or the next year, even necessarily. But do you think, in your heart of hearts, not covering for yourself, not hiding some sort of anxiety, if you had to really honestly say, do you think we're going to get another Fried by Fluoride album, a full album released at some point? What is your expectation?
At some point, like at any point in the
Yeah,
future.
just or is there going to be at some point? Will there be another Fried by Fluoride album?
Uh, that one's kind of 50-50. I think it would depend on breaking out of this. Like I have to beat I don't know, the death in my life. I have to beat it. 'Cause there's a whole lot of death. There's a lot of death
Okay.
in my bed, in my parents' house, like eating bullshit, smoking and drinking myself to death. There's a lot of death in that, and so it gets in the way of making music. So I think it really hinges on can get it.
Hmm.
If I can get a new place, figure out. That's probably one of the main things, honestly. So I'd say the odds are like 50-50.
Yeah, so you think that you're more intimately concerned at the moment with the conditions of your life, changing the scenery, changing the you're trying to change the actual like just the basics. Like you're trying to shake up the basics of your day-to-day life before you're worried about creating something new.
Yeah, I don't think it's possible to create something new in this state because it's just like, I mean, to make the song, you kind of have to like, give a fuck and you have to like it. It's just not possible where I'm at.
Yeah, it's fair. It's fair. I mean, I'm thinking about if I had, I don't know where you're at right now, but over a million monthly listeners, something like 1 point whatever million. Obviously, in a sense, if you think about, if you're just thinking about purely music from a motivation, incentive perspective, you're kind of now in like a musical sandbox almost. Like you've really almost hit the theoretical end game. Like there's not much more of like a from a career progression standpoint. There's, I mean, unless something truly like cosmic happens, like something genuinely insane, you've really hit like what is the reasonable peak of someone who's just like creating music in their bedroom. So I do understand that, to at this point making. Hold on, this dog I'm watching is like going crazy. Stop it. Relax. At this point, you've kind of hit like to make music. It's got to be purely artistically charged. Like you got to have a strong conviction behind what you're creating for it to seem worth it. Um, so I do get the slowed production. It does make sense to me, even if maybe I'm sure some people on this call feel like you're at the height of your career. You're at the peak of your relevance. Maybe the peak that you'll ever have at this point. I mean, who knows what the future holds? But it's reasonable to say that this could be one of the most relevant points in the Fried by Fluoride brand, and that you've kind of like, you know, you've kind of hidden yourself a little bit. You've kind of decided to shrink down in scope and presence. You've dropped out of the call. So at this point, you've dropped out of the call, which is fine. Which is fine. I'm not going to get upset because I know that you're on a walk. But I do have to say, as a journalist, I'm not sure where I'm supposed to. I was on a middle of a monologue of sorts, and you're not going to be able to respond to the monologue, so it becomes somewhat of a predicament. So I'm going to have to shift.